Yeah, see.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Blah.
Okay,
As
so
if he was a vampire.
so I had already started recording.
Okay, that's fine. Blah, see, blah.
I never saw Twilight 5.
You know, I've seen
Wait,
the last movie, and I was like, "Oh man, look at all this action!" And then it was like, "Oh, it was all a dream." I'm like,
It was
oh.
all a dream of
That
what
sucks.
could be.
To be fair, that's
Which-
more interesting than
Spoilers.
how the book ended, which was none of that happened, and they just talked.
No,
Did you
Yeah,
did
that's
you read
right.
the book?
I read all the books.
I read all the books
I was
'cause I
into
was-
this girl that was into those books.
Oh,
So
That'll be
every girl,
yeah,
pretty much.
she had a pulse.
I read
so
all
she
the
was into
books.
those books.
Nice.
So yeah, I read them all.
you were like, "This is my end."
Yeah.
I have a question though. Did it work?
Well, no, but it worked out better.
Gross.
At any point where you like,
Did you hear
at any point where you're like, "Oh, you know, it's not too bad." Then you flip a page, you're like, "Well, no."
There were so there was so the first book, I read the whole thing and I was like, you know what? I'm 14. This is fine. Like, it's whatever. And then I was like, can't wait to see what happens in the second book. And I got the second one, and they were like, oh yeah, that guy that you just read a whole book about, he just dipped in the first chapter. And then the whole
Yeah.
book is like not
Trying
him
to find
around.
him, yeah.
And so that was a slog. And then I don't really remember much of the second two.
The last one, I think, and at the time I was 13 reading them, but I think the last one was kind of the strongest. Just
I don't know.
like, well, no, actually, I remember I didn't like the ending because I was like, oh, this ties everything into a bow too nicely. Come on.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming to our book club.
I
Man,
thought
we've
I
been
thought it
reading
was odd
Twilight.
how no one died the whole time.
I
It was
thought
interesting.
a couple
Also,
people did.
what a heavy-handed analogy those books are. Because the author has come out. First of all, she admitted that she wrote it all in the Notes app on her iPhone, and then that it's all just a metaphor for abstinence. And it's like, yeah, no, we got that. That's all the books are about the whole time.
Wait, hold on. How is it a metaphor for?
I'm not
abstinence?
going
Did
to
she get
bite you
pregnant?
till we're married.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the whole plot of the book. She's like, bite me. And he's like, not till we're married. I'm 900 years old and you're 16.
yeah, probably. Okay.
Also, that's a little weird.
Is it though? Like, at what, no. Here's at what point past like I don't know 200 is like man, it's fine.
Still illegal for 16.
But what if? What if?
She was 18 by the time they were married.
Yeah, but
Also, isn't he's like a...
Isn't
No, that's
that-
grooming.
isn't that
is
called grooming? Yeah.
Yes.
Drake knows about that.
So does
Whoa.
Elysion.
you just come out and say it. I mean, it's true, but you just come out and say it. Will you hand me one of those?
Say please.
Please? I'm going to kick off this game.
Drink.
We should embrace, the game.
Do we not talk about the game?
Also, my mom just told me that she got a bunch of people at work listening to this.
Oh,
So, if you're listening,
Hello.
drink.
nice.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm going to do a topic.
Who knows, man?
I'm going to be honest. I did not start on this one until about 30 minutes before y'all got here.
That's fine.
We went to Pinballs,
Yeah.
and it took us like an hour to get home.
Yeah. It's close enough to Austin.
Well, we were parked on the highway for a while. There was an accident.
It'd be that way sometimes.
It do.
Someone probably died in front of our store today. That's what I've decided.
What?
Yeah. They were very casual about it. There's a guy eating pizza.
Yeah, I saw that guy too when I went over to get some lunch.
Well, I have a new topic idea.
Uh-huh.
This guy from the store.
I almost went over and was like, hey, what's going on? But I didn't want to bother them.
She didn't want to see a dead body.
I didn't want to see a dead body just in case. Like, I wasn't prepared for that. That's not how I thought my day was going to go, so I didn't emotionally prepare myself, so I didn't.
So,
I didn't.
to all you listeners out there,
This is basically the show. If you'd like to tune out now, no one would blame you.
what I was going to say was, I'm Norm.
Oh, I'm Tanner.
I'm Emily.
I'm a special guest, Bailey.
That's a running bit. Just so that's what that is now.
I just don't want to commit to it.
Commitment issues?
We're going to sign papers in front.
I haven't yet.
Oh man, we're getting a notary and everything. That
We're
reminds me,
adults
we
now.
need to do that. I have the papers in my car.
Cool.
Just let us know. Seems like it's a lot easier for us than you guys.
Yeah.
That's just life.
Yeah.
It's just I've accepted it.
That's usually not the way it goes. The two white guys are having an easier time than
What?
Me.
and me.
That's true. Man, how did it end up this way? What did we do?
It's 2020. We've won.
I think it's.
You're still white.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
What?
Women's rights.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna make a reference, but it's too early.
We knew. All right,
And
Marty,
no
I'm
one would have
over
caught it, and it's offensive now because it hasn't aged well, and I'm just not gonna do it.
But if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can hear the joke in our outtakes.
Our Patreon episode is mostly Ethan.
you. I bet.
Oh man! All right, so you want to hear a story,
Tanner, what's
Yes,
up,
I
man?
do.
Emily? If you know this one, and I'm gonna bet that you do, no
I'll
spoilers.
keep my mouth shut. I'll just play Smash.
This is
No.
the story of, and the name is creative, Brian Shaffer. It's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, no one gave it a funny nickname.
Well, you do it now.
Well, man,
Do it afterwards.
Chase-
we'll do it
come
at the
up-
end
yeah, we'll come
because
up
I don't
with
want
a
to
funny
spoil
name.
the story, and also, yeah, I don't want to spoil the story. It's intriguing. Well,
Says you.
it's fine. I'm gonna be honest, it's all right. So Brian Shaffer was born February 25th, 1979, the oldest of two sons to parents Randy and Renee Shaffer. All sounds pretty normal.
Drink.
Randy, Renee,
Brian.
Brian.
Is it 79?
Yeah.
That's the. I feel like that's the most.
Is that the
That's
year
the most
the
recent.
That's the most recent.
I think it is, yeah.
we've
I was
done.
trying to do something a little different.
Yeah.
Except for Backpack Lady.
No, that was in this. Wasn't that at
Yeah,
the beginning of
The whole story moves
Wasn't
up
that the
till
turn of
today.
the century?
That was fiction.
That was not fiction.
Spring
She's
Heel
real.
Jack might still be kicking though, so
That's a
I
pun.
told you I want to interview her, but
Spring Heel.
Norman said no.
Yeah.
I also said
I'm
no.
starting to wonder if being there for that might be inherently dangerous.
Why?
Knives?
What's in her backpack, Bailey?
Knives?
I assume mostly knives.
She's
Weird
probably a nice
assumption.
lady.
Yeah, she's probably nice enough. We shouldn't judge people.
Or make fake stories about them.
Yeah.
That never make it to air.
Yeah, we got to stop bringing that up. No one knows about it. So, Brian grew up in Pickerington, Ohio, near Columbus. Graduated high school in 1997.
Pinkerton?
That's when I was born.
Pickerington.
Pickerington.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
At least, I think. Graduated in 97, started school at OSU. And then in 2004, he started med school at OSU.
Mm.
So,
Smart guy.
hats off. In his second year, his mother passed away, and although he seemed to be handling it pretty well, or as well as can be expected, his friend said that he took it pretty hard. I can't imagine taking it any other way.
Like, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. No, that would mess you up, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So, around this time, he became involved with a fellow student, Alexis Wagner. Everybody that knew them was pretty sure that he was going to propose on a trip that they had planned to Miami.
Oh, they were like
for spring break.
special.
special involved.
Yeah.
Special involved.
Wait.
Especially involved. Just hold on
Oh,
before
no.
you start.
She's connecting dots.
She is, and I don't like it.
Just give it a minute.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
We should start just us three record the episode, and then we let you listen and record separately, and then we post that.
So none of us are conversating with her at all. It's just her
feel-
trying to talk to us and we're ignoring her.
That would feel very good.
That would
No,
not
like
be good.
we'll make it sound good because like
Well,
so
this-
we'll make comments towards her, and then that's when yeah.
But then you
That's when I'll
have
pop
to,
in.
you have to like on the fly react to the comments that we're
Absolutely.
making when you're not there.
I took an improv class.
We'll just go.
We've talked about it.
Just go right, Emily. Right, and
Yes.
then you can chime in.
And then just
and then
yes.
randomly we'll go haha.
Stop.
Ha! You did take a comedy class. Ha
Stop.
So they planned a trip to Miami for spring break. Everyone thought he was going to propose to Alexis there. Brian reportedly liked tropical climates, hence Miami. Although he was studying to be a doctor, he said that his real dream was to start a band and play music in the vein of Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Space.
What?
He was a big musician. He actually had a tattoo of album art from his favorite band, Pearl Jam, on his arm. This was
Sorry.
the early 2000s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just so everyone remembers Pearl Jam.
You know.
They just released
Pearl
a new
Jam
album,
means,
actually.
right?
Like last week, they just released an album.
This part's going to make Bailey feel bad about that joke.
Yeah.
Why?
So I didn't include this information because any of it is relevant to the story. I included it because I don't think we make a point often enough that this was a human being. And
I was talking about the band.
so this case is still open. And
Oh.
This
yeah.
isn't what I thought it was, by the way.
And this is an actual guy. So definitely we're going to be ourselves, make jokes and all that stuff. But just remember that we remember that this is a person. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
That said, here's the story.
That said, he had a Pearl Jam tattoo.
Hey, they had that song.
What, had or
I'm sure you like
has?
some bad bands too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I do.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, yeah, I would get a Presidents of the United States of America tattoo.
I'm probably gonna get a
And
Dance
they
Gavin
suck.
Dance tattoo.
Actually, do
No
they suck?
tattoos for me. Right, Mom?
They were popular at one point, I think.
Who?
Friday, Presidents of the United States of America. They do that one song from Good Burger.
I got nothing.
Opposable Thumb?
Only song I know is the one that goes, "I'm a dude."
Oh, no, Kel actually
We're
wrote
all
that song.
Yeah,
too.
I figured, but
What? No,
Yeah.
no, he didn't write that.
Yeah, he did. He's credited at the end of the movie.
No way.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
He's a talented guy. Or he was. I heard he, won't talk to Keenan anymore.
Yeah.
one of them is successful.
It's
One of
not
them-
Kel.
It's not.
Well, from what I
They
heard,
say
it was
hints.
because Keenan got on SNL, right?
Yeah, Kel got very conservative
Mm.
and is no longer amused by Keenan's shenanigans.
Mm.
So
I heard it was a two-way street with them just like
I
Keenan
blame Kel
outgrew-
entirely.
Yeah, it's bad, but
Good. Good
fame
Burger's
does
still
things.
fun.
Yeah, but he came back for an episode of All That last year. No, I don't want to talk about it. Friday, March 31st, 2006. The day of the first day of spring break, right? 2006.
Right.
Brian and his friends had just finished a hard week of finals, and Randy, Brian's dad, had come down to have dinner with his son.
Midterms?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. I just
Well,
wanted
no,
to-
it's finals because spring break is at the end of.
it's in the middle.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
you're right.
semester.
I've been out of school for a couple of weeks, honestly. So Brian's dad came down to have dinner with him. Randy noted that Brian seemed unusually tired and that he didn't seem up to a night out. However, Brian had made plans that night to go out with some of his friends and blow off steam, as you do, especially when you're in your second year of med school, I guess. So this is about 2 years after the death of his mom, and that sounds like a lot of time, but I can't imagine how that, combined with midterm stress and all of that, would affect someone.
Right.
I imagine guy's probably pretty tired, right?
Can't confirm.
Yeah, I'm tired now, and I don't have any of that going on.
Yeah, I just worked today my normal shift, and I'm tired.
Yeah, So Brian went out to dinner, and after dinner he met up with his friend Clint Florence. That's his real name. They went to this place called
It's a real man.
Well,
Tanner.
his actual name is William, but Clint was his nickname. It was in quotation marks, so I just went with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
William Florence.
I don't know. So
Also
Clint.
known as Clint.
They went to a place called the Ugly Tuna Saloona,
Yeah.
Where?
Yes.
just south of campus. At it's OSU,
OSU?
so
Okay.
Why don't we
Columbus.
have anything like that here?
I mean we have.
Yeah, give me one good bar name here. You can't.
I don't know. Bar.
That is-
I was told to
I
never go there.
hate that place.
I was
Yeah,
also
I hear,
told that.
I hear it's
I've never been, but I hate it because I don't appreciate pun names or anything like that.
I do.
still not a good one.
I just hear very loud whispering coming from the room next to us.
That's
No.
crazy because no one's
Okay.
in there.
Say,
No, they said no, so it's fine. So the bar was upstairs and was accessed by going up an escalator. Reports.
What?
Yeah, you go up an escalator and then you go into a bar.
Oh!
You know, an escalator
Stop putting
is-
together dots.
I put it together.
So reports vary, but as far as I found, the only other exits were a staff door that was not for use by the public and allegedly had a motion-activated security camera, and then an area of the building that was under construction at the time and also not accessible to the public. Also covered in security cameras, from what I could find. I didn't consent to being videotaped.
I'm thinking real hard right now.
I can see it.
Can you?
I could.
My mic just fell over. That's the first time that's ever happened to me.
Hey, it's okay, but it happens to everybody.
No, it happens to you and now me.
Yep. That makes two.
So
That's
Yes.
gonna be fun to edit. I bet.
I think that's good. I think that's a good height.
You just gotta scrub.
So yeah, that third, the construction area, that depends on what source you're reading from. Maybe cameras, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't there at all. Who knows? But after the Ugly Tuna, right? That's what I said. This
Ugly
place,
Tuna
this
Saloon.
ridiculous place.
Ugly Tuna Saloon.
After that, they met up with Meredith Reed, a friend of Clint's. They bar hopped, and then Reed gave them a ride back to the Ugly Tuna to finish the night. So here's the basic timeline. At around 10, before bar hopping, Brian called Alexis Wagner, his girlfriend, and told her that he loved her. This is recorded on the security cameras, and then nothing after that, but all three of them can be seen returning to the bar around 1:15 and entering up the main escalator. At 1:50, Brian is seen on film talking to two girls outside around the escalator. At 1:55, Clint claims to have seen Brian go back into the bar but lost track of him. The bar closed at 2, and Clint and Meredith began looking for Brian. They never found him. They assumed he walked home and just didn't worry about it. And they both left the bar at 2:15.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it sounds pretty normal, right?
Okay.
But
It's happened.
But that's the basic timeline of the night that Brian Shaffer disappeared. And you might have noticed that I didn't mention the time that he left the bar because he was never seen leaving the bar. He was seen going in, and none of the cameras caught him going out.
Oh.
I expected a reaction there. I'm not
No,
gonna
I mean,
lie.
I'm very much intrigued.
So the next morning, Alexis called his cell phone, but it went straight to voicemail. That means it's turned off.
Yeah.
She wasn't concerned. She assumed that he had fallen asleep and forgotten to charge his phone. And she didn't worry about it too much. But she was in Toledo visiting family, so it wasn't like she could check on him.
Right.
You know?
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, like that place. Where is Toledo?
I don't know.
Is that in Ohio?
I think so.
Okay. For some reason in my head, I thought Canada.
That's Toronto.
Yeah, that is Toronto.
She might have been in Toronto. She was in Toledo.
Fuck it, she was in Canada.
I definitely read Toledo because I remember reading it and going, that's not real. Brian was reported missing on April 3rd when he didn't show up for his flight to Miami. The bar staff and friends and family were all questioned, but the case is still unsolved. One friend, Clint, did refuse a polygraph test at the advice of his lawyer, but that didn't lead to anything. He's not really considered a suspect. Most people just assume that he was being smart, since polygraphs tests are not admissible in court, and they usually just end up with people getting accused of random things.
Yeah, so, like, what's the point of those tests?
When they were developed, they just read basic vital signs, and it's thought that the stress of telling a lie makes those spike, but the stress of anything makes those spike. So.
Especially the stress of being questioned for your friends. Like, you're stressed about your friend disappearing.
Yeah.
You're going to be stressed. And that's why they do the baseline reading, but, like, it doesn't mean much.
And you could be embarrassed about a question,
Yeah.
and it'll look like you're lying, but you're not.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So, there are a couple more little pieces of information. They've both been largely discredited, but I'm going to talk about them real quick anyway. Firstly, Alexis called his phone every night before bed, hoping to hear anything but his voicemail, which she even liked to hear his voicemail at that point.
Yeah.
One night in September, a few months after the incident, it did ring 3 times before going to voicemail. Interesting. Singular, his cell provider, said that this could have been caused by a computer glitch, but when this computer glitch happened, a ping from his phone was detected by a tower in Hilliard, about 14 miles northwest of Columbus. So, just up the road, really. Second, Randy, his father, continued to search for his son until his death in 2008. After Randy's obituary ran online, a condolence book was posted. Don't know how this really is supposed to work, but someone signed the condolence book, to Dad, love Brian, and then in parentheses, U.S. Virgin Islands as their location. So, yes, you have a thing.
Well, like, okay, so his father died, and someone signed the father's son.
Yeah, to Dad, love Brian, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Didn't you say he was the older son? Oh, so you said Brian, though.
Yeah, it said Brian.
So that seems a little not cool.
Yeah, well, especially since that message was traced to a computer in Franklin County, Ohio. Publicly accessible computer, like at a library.
Yeah.
So that's been discredited. Now, there are theories. But before I get into them, what do y'all think? Do y'all have any theories?
He just disappeared. No one saw him leaving the bar.
No, the cameras didn't pick him up leaving. The footage has been looked over. A lot of it's online. You can look over it.
I've seen the footage. Yeah.
I mean, what about the bartenders? Did they say anything as far as...
They were all questioned, and none of them had anything to say, really. I mean, it was a busy bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, like, if someone talked to me about someone I saw today, I'd be like, maybe.
Definitely possible.
It is possible that I saw them.
Maybe he just wants to start over.
Yeah, that's one of the theories we'll talk about, and there's a little bit that goes into that one.
Okay.
Just because he's dealing with all that stress of everything.
Yeah.
He did want to be a musician.
He did. Haven't heard anything about that.
Well, he's working on it.
Yeah, okay. So the first theory is Brian managed to slip out undetected purely by accident and then encountered foul play outside, which, I mean, that's the first thing you'd probably go to.
Yeah, pretty plausible.
Someone online alleged that he was into cocaine, using it to get through midterms and stuff.
Yeah.
And that the 2 girls that he had talked to, he was trying to strike up a coke deal. And then if he was carrying
Did they ever find
that...
those 2 girls?
Oh, yeah, they interviewed him, but nothing came of it. But if he was carrying cocaine on him when he left the bar, that would be reason enough for someone to jump him. And then if they had ditched the body in, say, a dumpster, trash actually ran in the 3 days between his disappearance and the beginning of the search. So, that still wouldn't be untraceable. They could find where it was dropped off and look there, but that would be...
But that's a lot to look through,
Yeah. So that's one of the theories. The second one is that Brian died in the bar and that the staff, out of fear, disposed of the body. That seems wild.
That
to me.
doesn't seem real.
Yeah. That seems ridiculous
God,
to me.
We should call the cops. No, hide the body.
Yeah, like...
I'm not going to jail for this.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
Do you know how many people worked at the bar?
No. I couldn't find any exact
One.
number. It was a pretty big place, though. It was like
because
a.
like more
it
than
looks
three
like a
people,
razzoos.
Someone's gonna talk eventually.
Picture a razzoos.
I don't know what a razzoos is.
Picture a
crazy.
Joe's Crab Shack looking.
Okay.
Like it was that
Yeah.
kind of about that size.
Razzoos.
Wow.
There's different sizes.
Yeah,
though.
it's
a-
Crab Shack.
It's a
Cajun
Cajun
place.
place. Jinx.
My cousins used to work
I
there.
don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah,
I
no,
went
I'm
there
with
once
you.
and I met one of my best friends.
Look, we're talking about a place called the.
The something tuna
Okay, no, no, no,
saluna.
let him do it.
The ugly tuna.
Saluna.
It was, for some reason in my head, I just kept thinking like lusty Argonian or something like that. Like, I just remembered it was an adjective and then a thing.
That's like the opposite.
How?
Why?
Support that statement.
Support that statement, Emily.
No.
Why is that the opposite?
I don't know. Lusty and ugly just don't seem.
That they can
Depends
go
on how many
hand in
how many beers you've had.
I suppose.
Oh, hello everyone from Mom's work.
Oh, oh, oh.
I don't
Um,
What are we speaking lies? No.
They know. They're
Okay.
old enough.
so I'm done with the second theory.
Okay.
The third, like, I don't even want to talk about that. That's stupid.
The third theory.
The third theory is that Brian wandered into the construction zone next door, fell into a hole, knocked himself unconscious, and then was covered by concrete.
Don't they? Wouldn't
It's also
they? Shouldn't they check?
doesn't sound right.
So when I read that, I did look and I tried to find anyone who interviewed anyone working on it to see if they poured concrete during those 3 days. Couldn't find anything.
I don't think.
It was the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Friday.
Then probably not.
Yeah, probably not. They don't get any construction done here during the week.
They
I
don't
don't
get any
think
construction done here.
that it would. If I think it would involve somebody else if he didn't do it himself, like by free will. Like I don't like him leaving and starting a new life. You know,
Yeah.
because if they pinged his phone back, and
Well, and that could have been a freak thing.
yeah, but
What
Yeah.
are the chances, though? I mean, is that a very common freak thing?
very cool.
More common
Right.
that it would ring by accident when it's still turned off. The location, that just means it was near a tower. It could have been picked up and sold to a pawn shop or
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
to it.
It did have his SIM card still in it.
A store that we work at.
Weird. I don't know. I don't think that he fell into anything by accident. I think it had to be on
He jumped
purpose.
on purpose.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
That's just my theory.
he was probably pretty drunk at this point. He was last seen at 1:50, and he'd been drinking
At a
since
bar.
9.
Yeah.
So,
How do you stay in a bar that long?
oh, they bar hopped.
Okay.
They
And then
went.
came back
They
to
worked their
bars,
way
right?
down and then came back. Yeah,
Why did they come back? Because I just like.
that was the spot, man.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
the move.
That's a place
That
with
was the
escalators, right?
move, fellow
When he said the
children.
words "kick" and "back,"
Bruh.
I was like,
That's the move.
"That's the move." That's honestly the best idea Wade's ever had. So yeah, that one also kind of far fetched, but I mean it's construction. You never know. The fourth theory is that Brian was a victim of the smiley face killer theory, which is a thing from 1997-ish, where
When he
white
graduated high school.
white college-age guys would end up drowned in public bodies of water. It was like a similar MO that spread over 11 states in the Midwest. So it's reasonable that Ohio could have been in there.
Quick question.
But yes,
Where does the smiley face come in?
don't know. And also,
Because I've heard of it vaguely.
yeah,
before.
I mean, also like they use that in a lot of stuff. Like that was the
That's
bad guy
true.
from The
Magician.
Mentalist was Red John, and he
That's
did
right.
smiley faces
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah. So like it's plausible, and there was a river actually that ran parallel to the route that they walked that night. But if it were that, he'd be the first victim whose body was never found. So,
Well, you don't know that for sure.
well, yeah, because they were never found, so they're not
Exactly.
reported. But
Boom.
the police have basically written that off. They've said there's no evidence to
Marty, I don't want to
support that would be what was going on.
Yeah.
So,
Brother.
and the last theory, potentially the happiest, still kind of dark, is that Brian was just breaking under the stress and left, started a new life somewhere.
And this
It's
is
a lot
early
harder to
2000s,
do.
right?
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to do nowadays, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's
but
possible, for
usually,
sure.
like when that happens, it's
Well, and if you're
and if police are looking for you, it's a lot harder too. It'll.
but if you're an
last for a
adult
while,
and they
but-
find you and you say that you want to stay missing, then they leave you missing. They close the case, but they leave you missing.
but it's still open. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
No one found him. What was I?
look, I watch a
I
lot
had a
of
point.
felony like people on the run stories. It's like I almost got away with it. It never lasts.
Well, no, but he wasn't running from anything. Well, just stress.
Yeah.
Responsibilities.
A private
Responsibilities, but then he was,
investigator
like,
that was working the case for his dad did come forward and say that the police investigating the case believed him to still be alive.
well, if there's
so-
no evidence of foul play, don't they automatically?
Oh
say
yeah.
that? So
But that's the biggest thing. And also the computer and the cell phone, like it's not unreasonable to say there's a small chance that he stayed in the area or came back at some point if he were still alive.
yeah, but like, why would he have his phone? I think the phone thing is maybe he just like maybe he turned it on to sell it to someone, showed him that it worked, took out the
Yeah.
SIM card.
I think the phone thing more than anything is probably just I bet
I
that
think
phone
it's a
was
fluke.
destroyed or removed immediately. Yeah.
But what if he held on to it for some memories at first, and he wanted to like look at some pictures or something?
I mean,
one day, and then he turned it on, saw the pictures, and then somebody called, got
That'd
the
be a
rings,
heck
and
of a
then destroyed it
coincidence.
after.
yeah, that would be a crazy coincidence.
But I guess also sneaking out of the bar
Well, I mean,
would be as well.
it could have been any. It could have happened.
Yeah.
The other times his girlfriend called, though, because apparently she called a lot to listen to the voicemail. It's not like it was just, oh, we're going to call him once. And it rang 3 times.
Wait, how
It's
does
like
that
she
work?
called a lot.
Wouldn't she just
So-
have that voicemail?
What do you mean?
His voicemail.
His
Oh,
outgoing
his-
message.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So, the most concise theory that I heard was the one about a coke deal gone wrong. And they said that potentially Clint, his friend, might have been in with him, like going in for some coke, and that's why he refused a lie detector test and all that stuff afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think it's probably disrespectful to jump to that conclusion, but it was the most well-built overall theory that I read.
Yeah.
But the case is still open, so if anyone has any tips or any information, they can call 614-461-8477 or visit stopcrime.com. Submit a tip.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Alexis is the only surviving person at this point. Both his parents are unfortunately gone.
What about
What
so
about
Clint?
like Clint and them?
Clint refused the lie detector test. That's where I stopped reading about him. I don't like Clint. I don't know why. I've just decided I don't like Clint.
Reading about him is like, this guy's...
When your name's
something
William
about it.
and you go by Clint, there's something wrong.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Clint from Ohio?
It could have
Come
been his
on.
middle name.
Why not Will?
Who
Or
names,
maybe he looked like
names
Clint
their kid
Eastwood.
William Clint?
William Clinton.
William
Florence.
Clint. Hold on, what was his last name?
Florence.
Florence.
He should have just gone by Florence.
He could have been anything but Clint. But anyway, that's the whole story. Very short, quick episode, but still interesting to read.
Yeah.
So, anyone have any thoughts?
I don't know, man. It's always like these stories of like people that just up and vanish. I don't know. They scare me more than anything, right? Because it could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
You know, you
Just
think
imagine how popular this podcast would get.
if Emily
man.
If one of
disappeared,
us is... Okay.
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but like we didn't both have to go there.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine, whatever.
Shoot. Let's lay out like 10, 20 more episodes, and then one of us just disappear.
You know how hard it is to start a new life somewhere with like just no social, no.
Yeah, here's the
ID,
problem.
no
I have
credit.
too much of a social following. I can't do it.
Hoity
It's not about you
toity
guys. I have
ninja
too much
squirrel
of a
over there.
following.
Half of it in the room
Don't
right now.
look at me like that.
Compared
was
more
that?
so to us.
I said half of your following in the
yes.
room right now.
How many Instagram followers do you have?
I don't know. I don't actually post on Instagram. So.
Mm-hmm. That's all
But-
I'm saying. I have at least 4, so.
I bet I got more than you.
How many you
At
got,
least
Bailey?
4. Shit, at least 5.
Ooh,
Well, let me look
Dang.
into this.
no one's hitting them double digits.
Dang.
What do you got?
What do I look like?
He has more
Celebrity?
followers than me on Instagram,
Oh,
but
wow.
on Twitter, I do have more than all of you.
Do you?
Yeah, pretty handily, I think. Last I checked. anyway.
But no, this
I was
is
curious.
it's pretty. It's just these stories creep me out more than like the other stuff we talked about because how like real it is, how
Yeah,
recent it is.
because it is real.
Yeah,
And yeah, cell phones were around and stuff.
yeah, and you think that no matter what, with all the apps and all the the stuff going around, it's like, oh no, I'm always safe, but
Yeah,
you're only one cocaine deal away from
potentially, allegedly.
allegedly.
Not
That's
even
tough.
allegedly. I don't think anyone made that accusation, except one guy on Reddit.
No,
we did it.
You know what?
do we
I
have
know.
to make sure we give him credit?
I don't remember. I closed the tab. Just Google it. It's there.
Oh, we're resorting to that now.
Just look it up, dude.
We're gonna start
Do
putting
my
out like
job.
10-second episodes of just us listing a topic for people to look up.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
you heard of Mothman? You should Google him.
Done. End. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. You can follow me.
So should we do the next thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Cool.
We just have to.
I
make
need
sure-
time to. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
pick one.
All right,
and
well, we'll
stuff.
take a quick break then, and we'll
Wait,
be right
shouldn't you
back.
find a psychic review?
Oh yeah, find a
Is
psychic.
that what
review.
we're?
Okay, well,
is that a thing?
Yeah, find a psychic review. It doesn't have to be the one here in town.
Do y'all want to hear about the Lotus of Light?
Yes.
I
Okay.
do.
Are we back? Is everyone back?
I'm
Yeah,
here.
we're
Norman,
back.
are you back?
I'm back.
All right,
Okay.
I got one review that is kind of odd. It's a 1-star review for Lotus of Light on Keen. Unprofessional. Horrible. Lotus of Light on Keen abruptly ended our chat and then blocked me. I was not rude or disrespectful. I did not use any swear words. I just asked my question. I contacted customer service and they partially refunded me, but I never got an answer as to why she blocked me. I contacted another psychic and she said Lotus of Light was frustrated with me for what she would not say. My psychic energy, I guess. But aren't they supposed to be helping with that? So weird and bizarre and feels like a scam. Really. I did not deserve to be treated that way. I am adding that when she blocked me, she somehow made it impossible to write a review about her on Keen. I contacted customer service about this, and they did not respond or fix the situation. She has the highest rating possible on Keen,
Drink.
but this has to be skewed because I was not able to submit my negative review. That's it. That's
Okay.
from Heather.
Yes, very good.
I have
This
questions.
is from 3 days ago.
What question could they have possibly asked?
Oh, so he called customer service,
Yeah.
and then they were no help. So he called another
Another
psychic,
psychic.
Yeah.
which
It
I
just felt like a
suppose that's
scam.
reasable, right? Because you're like,
Like,
That makes
well, obviously
sense.
they would know, right?
what if secretly she's both psychics?
Oh, I can't help with that. Sorry, man. Sweat.
Dumb.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh my god. Talked Tarot with Jane. She has a 5-star review. She wasn't a nice person. She basically called me a loser, that I have no interest in doing anything with my life, which is completely false. I was trying to get some guidance, but I left more depressed. Never doing that again. Had 10 minutes for $1.99, spent $5 for an extra minute, but was charged £15. That one's pretty funny.
15 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, whatever, fine. We're not going to question that one.
They're also not a loser. That is false.
That's what they
I'm a
call money in other countries. That's England's little monopoly monies. They're called pounds.
I just find
Oh,
it
they
interesting
left
that we're.
the EU this morning.
Good job, British Trump. You killed it.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he's got wacky hair though. He's a wacky guy, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
British Trump.
I've been by his apartment, apparently.
Really?
On accident.
Apartment?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, it's like a yeah.
I live in an apartment and I'm not a prime
Dude,
minister, so
You didn't see it.
I get a 1-star review from Hi. The topic is don't use Keen. The subject is don't use Keen. Everything is a fraud.
Tanner, was that you?
but it was not me, but it may as well have been. Okay, are we ready for this?
I think we are.
Who wants to go first?
Well, do we want to do an introduction on this, or is it?
Oh, yeah.
At this point, is it just?
We should do an introduction every time.
What do you
I
want to
think,
call
in
it?
case you have any-
Today it's going to
Well,
be called.
You're the one guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or How about? I think we did that last time.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
little
it's gonna
different.
be it's gonna be Bailey's
How
big
about
brain.
smash or pass?
There's
No.
something
You
about
know,
that
I'm
not
gonna be
comfortable
upset
with.
no matter what the answer is. My mom listens.
And
That's
Tanner's
like
mom's
Smash
coworkers.
Bros? I don't
Hmm?
understand.
So mine is. Oh wait.
Wait, we gotta come up with a name for it first.
How to smash or pass?
Yeah, that's what it
Smash or
is.
pass.
Let's
Alright,
explain
cool.
what it is.
Let's explain
Yes,
what it
yes.
is, because that's more important than just us groaning at Bailey's suggestion for a name.
So, me, Norm, and Tanner are gonna tell Bailey 3 different stories of
Cryptids.
monsters, ghosts, whatever, and he has to guess which ones we've made up on the spot and which one you can find a Wikipedia page for.
Yes, that's the whole gist of it.
And if whichever one I think has a Wikipedia page, I will say smash to.
Yes,
The ones that I do not believe, I will say pass to.
I just said the word gist, and I don't like that. I don't know why. It felt
It's
weird.
because it was within the same amount of time I said smash or pass.
Did you see that guy that tweeted, he was like, God himself could come down with 1,000,000 angels and tell me it's pronounced GIF, and I'd still say, all right, Jod.
That's
funny.
very funny.
Yes.
All right, so who's up first?
Tanner started.
Okay, I'll go first. Mine, get ready for this,
Okay.
is from Japan. Yes, I know, I
that's
did
not-
that just for you.
But that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, it's called the... Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called the
Oh.
Chiqueto Gakari, I think.
Okay.
Sounds a little Spanish to me, but that's what they say.
Chiqueco?
Chiqueto.
Chiqueto.
Yes, like a little chiquette.
Gutari?
Like Geppetto.
Gakari.
Gakari. Okay.
It means ticket taker.
Okay.
And so basically, that's what he is. He's a ticket taker ghost. No. It's actually interesting though.
All right, go for it.
So like they have the whole
Side
subway
hustle.
system. You ever been on a train? There's someone that comes along and asks for your ticket. I would have assumed that there's no room for a myth like this in a train so crowded, and yet
Depends on the train.
here we are. So it's a guy in kind of an out of date but still a train uniform, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And he just comes by, checks for a ticket, doesn't make eye contact. So they report anything from like not having eyes to having like exaggerated eyes, but the only consistent thing is no eye contact. But he checks your ticket, and usually people say like he doesn't do anything if you have a ticket. No one who hasn't had a ticket has come forward to say anything. So
That's pretty lame.
do with that what you will.
Sounds like a Japanese myth. Just kind of random.
Yeah, right.
What if it's just like,
It's just an awkward
it's like
dude.
ticket? Like, oh, sorry, I don't have it. He's just like,
He
I-
disappears. Like, oh shit.
the ghost becomes socially uncomfortable.
It's like, oh geez, I think I'm just gonna leave now.
oh, you
know,
don't have your ticket? Oh,
Okay.
I didn't plan this far.
No,
ahead.
I think the implication is that he removes you from the train if you don't have your
Spirited
ticket.
away.
But like I said, no one who doesn't have a ticket has come forward to say anything. So that could be because they're writing illegally and they don't want to talk about that. But
Or dead.
It could just be a really tired guy in there.
He's just some old dude.
He's old and he's just tired, man. Sunken in eyes.
Oh god, it's
He's
a
seen
ghost.
some
He's
shit.
like, shut up.
up.
That's rude. Just trying to do my job. They don't pay me enough for this shit. When did it originate?
how old are trains?
Are we talking steam? We talking
Hold on.
bullet?
Let me look.
Well,
Let me
because
look.
I mean, it doesn't. I feel like that doesn't really hold up now because they mostly take subways and they don't.
There's
check
so
your-
many people. Oh,
Well,
Never
yeah,
mind.
but they also don't check your.
I
subway
see those
ticket, you just
videos.
scan
I guess
and-
that's China though.
I mean, I'm sure Japan has trains like that too, though. But they mostly run on subways, as far as I know.
Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, considering the
I can come back for questions.
are you looking at when?
It's the
Trains?
around the 1880s after the first line between Tokyo and Yokohama was built.
That's old.
Cool. All right.
Let's just go down the line, Norm.
Okay, yeah. Actually, before we do that, Tanner,
Yes.
one more time.
Yes.
What is it called?
Oh shoot! I just closed it.
Chiquetto
That's cool. It's cool.
Gukari.
It sounds like gum.
Chiquetto Gukari.
Gukari.
Wait, how's it spelled?
With like a.
What? With like a what? What letter?
It looks like a guy like reaching out, and then oh, this isn't the
Is that a
alien
J?
game. No, it's Gakari in the transliteration.
Okay. Go ahead, Norm.
All right.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, it's niche to this
Okay.
room, but
Can't look it up.
it was very funny.
Cool. So, back, excuse me. So back in 1923, in a little town. Oh God. It is Welp Crap. No, I had okay. I had.
We can
everything
come back
right.
to you.
No. Don't go anywhere.
Anytime.
Okay.
Whoa.
So
Oh no.
Winterset, Iowa. There was.
Is that the new Skyrim DLC?
So
I
okay.
was gonna say that.
It does. Hold on. I'm just what right there. What does that say? Right there.
That's Winterset.
Winterset, Iowa. So,
It's like a guy. He's like reaching down. Okay, go ahead.
okay.
What?
Winterset, Iowa. There's actually a park just outside the town.
Lincoln Park?
That's weird. That's in no, it's not. Is that in Nebraska?
Nishoba.
Lincoln Park?
Yeah.
They're like everywhere.
But the main one, I'm thinking of Lincoln, Nebraska. The park is actually in a big town, Chicago.
I was thinking Chicago.
Go
I've
ahead,
been into
Norm.
one in Hawaii.
Tell us about Skyrim.
Well, it's Steffen State
Yeah,
Forest.
It's a Winterfell.
What?
Isn't it?
Okay, nerd.
Steffen State Forest. That's what it is called now.
Okay. No, I get what you're saying now.
Oh, okay.
They didn't sound like words the first time that,
Okay.
You
that
trying
you
to
said them
convince
to
me or
me.
Tanner? I'm confused.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. I'm just gonna not look at him.
I get
Very
that.
distracting. So there was this myth. So 3 kids went missing.
Mhm.
Which, you know, in itself is very weird. I didn't really look into like the details of that, but there started going around rumors, especially like around the schools, that they went missing because of a creature that lived in that forest. Which, oddly enough, before it was Steffen State Forest, it was called Last Chance Forest. It's pretty cool.
Spooky.
Is this
Very.
the plot to Stranger Things?
I haven't seen Stranger Things, so I don't know. You tell me.
No, just that one kid goes missing in Stranger Things.
Yeah,
That's
true.
That's true.
What about
Um,
Barbara?
3 kids.
What?
Justice
Don't
for
spoil
Barbara.
anything. Okay, look.
Yo,
Basically-
Barbara sucked. I hated Barbara.
Basically,
Kid starts talking about a monster that lived in that
In the
forest
forest.
that took you. The kid said that it came. So you started dreaming about the being, and eventually, after a certain amount of time, it just comes and takes you away. The kids themselves, 2 of them, the bodies were never found. One of them it was. So obviously, myth-wise, it doesn't hold up. But the kids say that you start dreaming about it, and then eventually it'll come for you. It has a tail. It walks on 2 legs. It kind of imagine a fish, if you will.
Furry.
I definitely
Fish.
thought you said it has a tail, and I was like, oh, he's going to tell us the story. And then I was like, wait, he's in the middle of
it
the
has
story.
a tail.
Okay.
This is a different tale from the one I'm telling now.
Okay, so imagine like a fish, right? But almost like an amphibious kind of like monster.
You seen Creature?
Have you seen Creature? Do you like jazz?
I'm thinking of like.
Do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
one of the monsters from Scooby Doo?
That's
One of them's
that's
kind of like
probably
an
accurate.
amphibious.
Do you ever think about how the real message of Scooby-Doo was that the real monsters
I
in
saw
life
this
are
on
the grown-ups we
Twitter.
trust?
I saw it on Twitter just days
Dang.
ago.
Why did you
Also,
show
Fred and Shaggy were just dodging the draft, and that's the whole real plot of Scooby-Doo.
That's fine.
That's why
And
they were
Scooby.
driving to Canada in their van.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah.
Oh,
so
the name of it.
amphibious.
Did they ever confirm they were going to Canada? I think I made that up.
I think you made that up.
Why would
Can't
they be
trust
going to
anybody
Canada?
around here.
To get out of the draft.
No. But in the whatever the myth of the
Canada's
show.
notoriously
Did they ever mention
ghost
it?
free.
That is not true at all.
Oh my god, all my links are gone. It's called a Galdon.
Galdon.
Galdon, yeah. 2 syllables. Galdon.
Sounds like a knight.
Sir Galdon?
Yes. Was that a knight of the round
What?
table?
I don't think so.
I don't want to hold.
That's pretty much it. That's the gist of it.
Okay.
Like all the links I had pulled up, I accidentally looked up Iowa City.
It's
And,
a new thing. It's not a furry. It's a scaly.
Yeah. Well, it's not
That's a
scaly. It looks like it. It's not scaly.
Okay. So like a snake, like it's not slimy, but it looks slimy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. That's my thing.
Go ahead, Emily.
Would you?
What?
Nothing.
Good.
So mine is the Bear Lake Monster.
Is it a
Growl.
Bear Lake monster?
It's a monster in Bear Lake.
How's bear spelled?
Like a bear. BEAR.
No X in the middle.
Why would there be an
Not
Oh,
B-A-R-E.
I see. I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Because we live near Bear County. It's on the Utah-Idaho border. It's a monster in the lake that swims around. And
Is this another one that's like the Loch Ness
it's
Monster?
like the Loch Ness Monster. But it's on the Utah-Idaho.
Wow, man. Utah
Border.
needed something, didn't they?
And they had a contest to name it, and an 8-year-old girl won. Isabella.
So the monster's name is Isabella.
Yes.
Okay.
Love
Isn't
it.
that cute?
All right.
But the last sighting was in 2002, so convenient about when cameras came around.
Isabella
Not
ain't
good.
doing too well right
Wait,
now.
hold on. You think the camera was invented in
No,
2002?
like good cameras, cameras that you have with you all the time. Not at 2002, but closer to 2002, and that's the last time it was spotted. So convenient.
Spotted by who?
But
Who spotted it?
Who's
some
the
guy with
8-year-old
some eyes.
girl?
A contest winner.
Also
I
Isabella.
didn't say her name.
No.
She just named the monster after herself.
It's me.
Very odd that its name is Isabella, and you were just playing as Isabel in Smash. So
It is odd, isn't it?
And we were just talking about Twilight. Did that make it on this episode?
I think
that
so.
What
was
does
like
that
the whole
have to?
beginning.
What does that have to do with this, though?
What do you think
Bella?
Bella's short for?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Come on.
Anyway, 2002, a business owner.
Twilight facts.
A business owner near the
That's
lake.
a joke from Riff
Business
Tracks that I
owner.
just
A
stole.
oh, and there might also be a smaller one.
No idea what that is.
Oh,
I know, but Emily does.
So,
cool. If that one's real, it's just boring.
Well,
That's fair.
well,
the real world can be boring.
Well, not real.
As evidenced by our podcast.
Okay.
Want to ask some questions?
Yeah. Where? I'll ask each of you one question.
Oh, okay, this will be fun.
What train did it originate from? Because I feel like that would have
I
a
told
lot
you
to
that.
do with it.
I don't remember what it was, but I told you that.
You told me what year it originated. It was the same as trains.
That was when they. That was.
that's not true, is it?
That was the first line that was built in the area. It was between.
So it's just that one.
No, like now it's just a thing there. It's just a thing that people say they see. But,
Doesn't
like,
seem
that was
too
kinda where it
far-fetched
started.
for Japan, because they're pretty weird.
Yeah.
What did I
anyways, but-
say? Where?
You ever watch Japanese ghost videos? They're like extra spooky because they're usually
between Tokyo and Yokohama.
Okay.
but they like add the drama in those ghost videos, Japanese ghost videos. They're spooky because they go for the jump scare.
Where and when was yours originated?
Steffen State Forest. Last call, last chance, just outside of Winterfeld.
Yes, Skyrim.
Yeah, I'm trying not to confuse it with the Skyrim.
I thought it was Winterset.
Hey.
Wait,
asked
when-
you, nobody asked you to chime in.
Oh,
You can
Hold
say
on,
yours
that is
first.
Skyrim.
Winterfell is the Skyrim
Okay,
one. Yeah. Okay.
no, because I was thinking, no, the Skyrim thing is Somerset.
No.
So
What?
Winterset.
No, it's
Winterfell is in Skyrim.
No, I know, but Somerset is also in Skyrim.
It's also a band, I think.
Probably.
Is it?
The
Oh my god. Okay,
Somerset-
fine.
Oh,
I just know.
snap.
I just know.
I forgot about
Elder
them.
Scrolls Online Somerset is something I sell.
Anyways,
Winterset.
Winterset.
I don't know.
Disappearances
I don't-
happened.
I'm
19
asking him.
Sorry.
Disappearances happened 1923. I would assume no less than a year after that.
How many kids were there?
Are you? Is this? Are you like
One
asking questions you already
question
know?
You're just objectively quizzing him on it?
Yeah. Three.
I am.
3. 2 of the bodies were found, or 2 of the bodies were not found. One of them was.
All right. What about you?
What about me?
What was yours
It's like
called?
the Loch Ness Monster.
It swims real fast.
Isabella, the Bear Lake Monster,
Except this one's in
Named
Siberia.
by who?
Or Utah.
named by an 8-year-old little girl who won a contest.
Who we've decided is also
When
Isabella.
was this?
The contest or any of it? Because the last item was in
beginning of it.
2002.
I'm gonna ask everybody one question.
1868 was the first sighting. Or the first article written about it.
Tough choices.
No
you got
more.
2 tough choices.
They
here.
just
No
all seem
more.
fake, bro.
No more questions.
They just all
I'm
seem
just kidding.
fake, but I'm
I agree. Mine
inclined
sounds garbage.
to believe Tanner's, even though I feel like it's not
Well, you got to do
the
the
right
thing.
one.
You got to do the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
you
I'm
have
still
to,
thinking. I'm
You
still
gotta
thinking.
smash one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to smash.
Not Isabella.
There's something fishy about theirs.
Stop. Yeah, and
Come on, that was
I'm
good. That
going
was good.
home.
Because they're both fish people.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't a person. Just a big old
You
fish.
can't prove that.
That's true. My bad. My bad.
All right, so what was yours called again? I can't even remember. I've been trying.
Galdon.
Galdon. That sounds right.
Galdon. It was Galdon.
Yeah.
Because it was
Galdon.
a knight.
Galdon.
Right, Sir Galdon.
I'm gonna
Yes.
have to pass on Galdon.
You're trying to smash Galdon? All right.
I think.
Shame.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't. This one's tough.
That's where
There's
the
nothing
story
that's,
of
like,
mermaids
too
come from.
absurd. It's just all kind of vague. Like everybody's is very vague.
Children have died, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
I don't know.
I should
wish
just
had more
note,
information.
It was really hard for me not to do an episode about Flat Earth today.
Was that your first topic?
So that was the thing that got me onto my first topic, but then I started Googling the second thing and got hung on that.
I also feel like Tanner wouldn't have picked a Japanese one if it was real. But also, you could have as a power move. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on yours and then
All right.
smash on Isabella.
You smashing Isabella?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct.
That is correct.
Yeah. I was panicking. I had everything in my head, and I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be good." And
Write
then
it
the
down in your
moment you
notes
were
app.
like,
I really started questioning you too. I felt kind of bad.
I was like, "Oh God."
I just
I
thought,
don't know,
what would
yours-
look cool as a ghost?
I did
was
try
like
to.
the guy on the train that demands to see your tickets. How do I say that in Japanese?
Yeah.
I tried to trip you up on the Isabella because I have been playing Isabella all night.
Y'all just seem very vague with it though.
Yeah, I did not bring my A game with this.
I gave a
one.
lot of specifics.
That's true. Yeah. Mine
You
was
also
just...
said, when was the first train in Japan? And just looked that up and said, yep, that's probably it.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
It wasn't before that, that's for sure.
Brought back the broken piece.
It was just like, of all
Take
the
it
things,
away from him.
I think what really did it is that hers was
Slobbery. No.
vague about a lot of stuff, but then it was like, oh, and then an 8-year-old girl won the naming contest, and this was the name. And that seems like an odd thing to just like make up on the spot, but not make up anything else.
That seems like something.
3
I would
kids
do,
died,
though.
man.
Stop, Marty. Don't want to hold you.
That was Stranger Things. Yours was Stranger
Yours
Things.
was like Slender Man.
Yeah, I was like,
I almost said,
God.
"Is that just Slender Man?" But then I didn't want to like.
He's not a reptile.
All those places
No,
are
no,
real,
no. As
by
soon
the
as you
way.
said that, yeah.
There is a
but
Winterset, Iowa.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, his scrolling that he was doing was just on Google Maps.
Nice.
You don't have to call me out like that, man. I was like, if I can get a
we
very
do.
specific location,
It
this
just
is
sounded
foolproof.
so fake.
And I was like, oh, I need the actual details about this thing, right?
Oh man, well,
That was fun.
that'll cover us for now.
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, same.
Outros, you goddamn monsters.
Good night.
You
No,
can-
what-
Sorry,
just-
Mom. Bye.
You can find me at Basilbub, BaesilBub. I think I spelled that right, on Twitter and
You did.
Instagram.
That's
Twitch.tv
too many
/
entendres
Basilbub as well.
even for you.
What?
So that's too many entendres even for you. Does
I'm.
anyone?
No.
It is a triple entendre.
Yeah, it is.
So,
No.
but no, okay,
No.
that's fine.
Bailey, Basil, and
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Emily. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch as well. Ninja Squirrel, NJASQRL.
I'm Norm. You can find me at Happy Bananas on most everything. You can also find me in the Kohl's parking lot selling frozen shrimp out of the backseat of my car.
What?
That's a true story.
We have a Coles.
Wait, did you say frozen shrimp
Yeah,
Shrimp.
Oh man.
quality.
out the back of your car?
It's not a.
Well, they won't be frozen for much longer then.
Yeah,
huh?
well, it's still cold
I
outside.
didn't
so
know we had a Coles.
Why are you?
Yeah, where is the Kohl's?
I gotta go
That's-
stock
that's
up
the
on
thing that you're-
birdhouse gear.
That's the thing you're hung up on.
Well, yeah.
Why,
it's a
One of
joke.
my sources-
why are
It's a
you
bit.
selling shrimp?
All right, one of my sources just told me
Is
it's
this a
in
joke?
Kyle.
I'm Tanner
Speaking
at
of
I'm still
Coles.
Tanner on Twitter, and I would like to end this now.
All right.
Good night.
Good
Thanks for
night.
listening.
Thank you
Oh,
so
wait.
much.
Also, go to our website, channel3media.
Oh yeah, do that.
.com. We're also
I talked over you saying the website. Will you say it again?
channel3media.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram, Spoop Troop Pod. Tweeted us suggestions. Tell us how you like it. Rate us on iTunes. It helps us out a lot.
That's
And
how we
Spotify.
avoid 20-minute topics done by me. So
Give us your love and
We
affection.
have
That's all we
suggestions
want.
for you already, though.
we have one, and it's not possible.
up,
What is it?
Tanner.
What is it?
The
Get
goat
creative.
people.
Oh, yeah. That's all I've wanted.
My grandmother made it
Just
up.
look into
That's
it.
the whole
There's
story.
a lot of people made that up.
No,
though,
I've
because
heard-
Hector,
No.
Hector's
Goat
heard tales
there's
of it,
there's
too.
Goat Man,
Nope.
but if you like
His
Google
bridge.
if you Google Texas goat people, a list of goat farmers in the area comes up.
What if,
Try,
okay,
like goat people myth.
Or lore.
what if
or-
instead
Lore.
you did
Lore
like
of said goat people.
just a bunch of different types? So you have goat people, mole people, reptile people. You know, just do a
just
little
do,
mini.
just
mini
do a
topic.
Haunted Dolls episode. Just rattle them off. Like, you don't need
Okay.
much. You just need a little bit. Marty, I don't want to
All
hold
right,
you.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well,
But
good
yeah,
night,
thank you
y'all.
for listening. Sorry, Mom. Bye.
Bye.
See you.